Hey everybody, Scott here from G System Videos. It is Monday, and this week I'm going to give the Strat Pack bundle a rest because I've got more important projects. New guitar! Let's do that! Yep, this week I am going to put this guitar together, finally. It's an RG520 Ibanez. It was made in Japan in 1999, I believe, or 2000. And it's got the reinforced neck with the Bubinga stripe. No cracks right here, which is super important when you're dealing with older Ibanezes. Because if, the last idiot that had this guitar tightened these screws down too much, the wood would split. Eventually, if it split bad enough, you would have neck failure. And back in the 80s, I went through 3 necks on my RG550. One was when it hit straight down, just popped right off. That was bad. 2 more were because of, one was because of this. I took it to a guy to have it set up, and he tightened this too much. Split it. Dick. Anyway, I know better now. Now, this is going to have some fun innovations in it. First, we're going to install the Shaler Tremblock adjuster, spring adjuster. It's a high-tech little piece here by the Germans over in Shaler. And basically what it does is it replaces the spring claw with a much more high-tech and fine-tunable piece of equipment. You put in an Allen wrench right here, spin it, and it allows you to get much more fine-tunableness. Tunability? Whatever. It's just, better. Higher quality. Adds a little mass, though. But, what are you going to do? Secondly, I have the Big Brass Block by FU Tone, formerly called Floyd Upgrades. So, Floyd Upgrades. They've been making the big brass blocks for people since, late 90s, maybe? I don't know when they got started. But this doubles the mass of the cheap pot metal that was originally on the Ibanez Edge. And this is an original design Ibanez Edge, which to me are the best ones. I love them. And they make a brass block. You can also get a titanium block if you want to spend 150 bucks. I didn't want to. But this is going to add low end and sustain to the guitar. I'm all for it. All right. Thirdly, noiseless springs. Good times. Some of these springs on some of these Ibanezes can just ring out, and they can be really annoying. You can hear them when you play a chord, and then if you mute the chord, you'll hear this bizarre resonance happening. This Ibanez right here that I put together in 2009 suffers from this a lot. And it took me a while to figure out where the hell that noise was coming from. So I've stuffed cotton in here. I'm going to get some heavy-duty noiseless springs for this guitar too. This one's got the Tremel No on it because I don't think the Sabres stay in tune as well as the RGs when it comes to the heavy Floyd action or the heavy Edge action. Whammy bar. Those are going in. And thirdly, I picked up from the guys at Sigler Music, the 920D Custom Shop, a wire harness, pre-wired. Here's the thing. It said pre-wired harness for RG/RT Ibanez guitars. Problem is, this is not a drop-in thing. It came with a Switchcraft jack, which was this deep. That'll never fit this. You need one of these. So I had to order that. The volume pot. The shaft is too short. It will never fit through the body. I had to order a longer shaft. So my $49 drop-in Ibanez wire harness is now $72, but it's going to be much better. So the first thing we're going to do is unsolder all of these connections to the pot, replace it with a new pot, and I've also got a really cool push-pull tone pot here for added tonal variations. Looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. So let's go over to the desk. Okay, the first thing you need to do when drilling into a guitar is set a depth gauge, because we're drilling from the back here to the front and we don't want to go through the front. So I've set up a depth gauge that's a little bit less than the actual length of the screw protruding from the, I don't even know what they call this thing, the spring tensioner. Now we need to set the drill points. I'm going to use a silver Sharpie for that. Basically just going to eyeball this thing because, you know, just needs to be even in between the two sides. Guess what? It didn't reach. Fuck. So, we need something else. How about a pointy screwdriver? Let's do that. Let's do it again. There we go. Now we got the drill point set. Now we can drill it. Woohoo! Using our depth gauge, we will not go beyond that point. Otherwise, bad things will happen. Bad things, I'm telling you. All right. Next. Now let's screw this sucker down. We have to make sure that I've got clearance for the where the grounding wire needs to come through. And the grounding wire, interestingly, will probably go in between one of these screws and the actual unit. So I will just put one of the screws in for now, because there's no way to solder to this unit. I'd rather not. I would rather not do that. Just saying. Let's get this one screw in. And then move on to unwiring the, goddamn, wrong little head. You son of a bitch. To unwiring the wiring harness. And then rewiring, of course. All right. Ta-da! All right, the soldering iron is heated up. We're just going to remove the bits that need to come off. You know what I should do? I should take a picture of this, because I'm going to need to recreate this, and I'm horrible at remembering anything. Or draw a little diagram of what goes to what. Give me a pen. Give me a beat. I can read that, right? We'll see. All right, I'm going to put the pickups back in, because I'm getting prepared to wire everything. So I just sifted through all the screws that came with this whole thing. Jesus, there were a ton. And when I painted, I didn't really, you know, mark the places where the screws go. So we're just going to sort of feel around and hopefully find the holes. Kind of like sex as a teenager. Yeah, it's a hole. Woohoo, we found one. So let's, you know, exploit that hole. You can fucking find it again. Jesus Christ, where is it? There it is. Should make it easier to find the others. God willing. Let's hope. There we go. I think I found another one. Oh my goodness. I'm on a roll. I'm like butter. I'm on a roll. Yeah. All right. Anyway, this is really fun watching me put screws in, isn't it? God, you people are lucky to have me here to entertain you. This is way better than Storage Wars Canada or The Real Housewives of Des Moines. All right, so I'm going to do this with both of these. I'm not going to waste your time with that shit. And then flip it over, wire this sucker up. All right, I got the pickups in, the knobs on. Of course, this is nowhere near as smooth as an Ibanez would be because I had to replace it with a CTS. Because none of the Sigler fucking 920D shit fit. I gotta tell you, those guys are bunk. They can suck a dick. None of their pots fit through the existing Ibanez holes. The output jack is was ridiculous on theirs. And the size of this fucking head on this thing doesn't fit any of my Ibanez switch knobs. So, fuck those guys. They are full of shit. Overpriced and wrong. So, we'll flip it up. Going to connect all the wires next. And then, you know, just plug it in and hit the pickups with, you know, something metallic. Test it. See how they, you know, just testing for, you know, signal going out. And then, you know, volume. And then tone, obviously, because you can tell that. I'll show you. Okay. There you go, everybody. Day one of the new Ibanez guitar build. I've got rehearsal on Thursday, so I need to get this thing done by Wednesday so that I can thoroughly work it out, put the new strings on, play around with it, get it, you know, adjust some things EQ-wise within my presets, and then rock out with it this weekend at our gig. Woohoo! We're called Blazing Cane, so I put flames on it. Why not? Anyway, I will see you on Wednesday with more guitar building fun. And until then, rock on.